For Robyn and I growing up as kids, faith wasn't a topic of discussion in the house. We both heard about God and Jesus Christ, but didn't really know Him.
In my house, there was basically no sense of spirituality at all. We rarely even talked about it. It kind of was an unspoken thing. So I grew up thinking basically Christians were kind of crazy.
Somewhere around 18 years old, my mother wanted me to get baptized, and so I did. I did it for her, but it wasn't in here. It wasn't something that I felt was part of me, but I did it for someone else.
Basically only stepped foot in a church when I had to go to somebody's baptism or some kind of shower or a wedding.
About 4 years ago, I drove past a Metro sign and stopped and wrote down the web address and came home and checked it out. I thought it was really cool. You could wear jeans to church, rock and roll, and this really hip looking pastor. And so I called my wife over. I'm like, Robyn, come here, check this out.
And I said, I'm not going to that. That looks like a cult. It was dark. It seemed dark. The website seemed dark, and it had all this rock music, and it just didn't seem like church. So he nixed that idea, and then when we were out of town 2 years later, he decided to go check this church out.
And I thought it was really cool. I really felt comfortable, but I knew as soon as I started talking to Robyn about it or mentioning it to Robyn, it would become an issue. In fact, it took me 2 weeks to get the courage up enough to mention it to her. And oh, by the way, 2 weeks ago, while you guys were out of town, I went to that Metro South church and checked it out.
He went and told me about it, and I didn't say anything. And he said, one morning during the week, this Sunday, the kids and I are going to go to this church, and we would love for you to join us.
Robyn didn't really want to go. She resisted at first, but I have a feeling, and she was kind of feeling the same way I was, just something in her life wasn't complete, and finally she agreed to go, and we went to Metro South and checked it out.
I stepped foot in the door and immediately knew that it was different. And then, have you ever had that feeling when Pastor Jay talks that you're the only person in the room and he's talking just to you? Well, that was my first experience at Metro.
That morning, September 10th, 2006, the underlying message of the service was, sometimes we treat God like our mother-in-law, and we only talk to Him when we need help, we only ask for help when we need help. And at that point, I thought, wow, I got it. I got it. And I felt like God just grabbed me and said, okay, so what are you going to do with this? What are you going to do with it now?
And I knew the moment that I walked out of there that I would come back, because I knew it was different, and I felt something. Finally, I felt something. So it was a year to the day later, after we had already been coming every week. We had been serving in every area we could possibly serve, and finally I walked in, and that was the day that it hit me like a ton of bricks. I was trembling. I cried all the way home. It was my moment.
Soon after Robyn and I started coming to Metro, we probably served in every area of the church. And before you know it, everyone at Metro became part of our family, and it was just something that was part of us.
It's ironic that I started this whole church process for my children to try to save them from the depression, I guess, that I was in about it, and I think it ended up saving us all.
We think it's awesome that our kids know who Jesus Christ is. Every night before the kids go to bed, we say a prayer together, and we pray about our family and thank God for everything He's done for us, and pray about our friends around us. And we also think it's awesome that our friends and family have come to know Christ and are walking this journey together with us.